Team Kill Media is causing quite a stir in the gaming streets for some statements they made about Microsoft console, which is the Xbox Series consoles. Now, you might be asking yourself, who is this Team Kill Media? Well, they are responsible for one game, which is Quantum Error. They were founded in 2016, and since 2016 they were only able to produce one title, which is Quantum Error. Now, Quantum Error is coming out for all platforms, according to them, but their focus is on the PlayStation 5. Now, let's see what statements this team made about the Xbox Series consoles, and let's see if they themselves are participating in the console wars. This is Island Gaming with Jay, and let's talk about Team Kill Media. Let's get it. A couple days ago, Team Kill Media started to talk about Quantum Error and how the development of the game is going so well, and they're expecting to drop some videos soon. So one Xbox fan asked the developers, so does this mean release date for Xbox, gameplay, etc.? And they replied, we will have a couple gameplay videos lined up to show off as soon as we announced everything. We have started looking into optimizing the game for Xbox, but it is definitely going to take a bit of time, unfortunately. QE has been made to be played with the PlayStation 5's extremely fast SSD, and Xbox SSD is quite a bit slower, and so we are going to have to change things quite a bit to make up for that difference in speed. So one could imagine that having said this on Twitter, no doubt the ponies would be dancing in the streets. Hearing a developer making such remarks about the Xbox SSD. No doubt that statement did not sit well with Xbox fans. And although it might be true that when it comes to raw speed, the PlayStation 5 is about twice as fast as the Xbox SSD, when that is translated into real world application, we know that is no big difference, and we have seen this throughout the generation thus far. And one could argue that Team Kill Media, Quantum Error, is not pushing the envelope when it comes to graphical fidelity or textures or so forth. Their game is looking, a run in the mill game when it comes to that style of game. So it has to be that this team here is not doing something or need to be educated as to how to develop games, which is ironic. And educated they were. Look at this video talking about the SSD that is in the PS5 compared to the SSD in the Series X.
Series X's SSD has a raw throughput of 2.4 gigabytes per second, while the PlayStation 5 more than doubles that to 5.5 gigabyte per second raw. So you might expect the PS5 to beat the Xbox in every test by a wide margin, right? Well, hold on a minute. Both booting the consoles cold and waking them from sleep are faster on the Xbox by a few seconds, and even when it comes to loading games, the consoles trade blows. In Assassin's Creed Valhalla, loading a game from the menu was a bit quicker on the Xbox, while in Dirt 5, the PlayStation 5 pulled ahead by a slight margin.
Rats, we've got a lead by as much as 10 FPS, and in this surreal, dreamlike sequence, it's actually nearing 20 FPS to the better on Series X. Rats, we've got a lead.
So as you can clearly see there, the Xbox Series consoles have beaten the PlayStation 5 consoles in many games when it comes to loading speeds, whether it be from the menu or loading the game itself. So it has to be that Team Kill Media does not know what they are talking about. And a matter of fact, we will need Team Kill Media to come to the island and explain themselves as to why they made such an idiotic statement. Now, they started to backpedal on what they said. Let's see. They tweeted, "We want to set the record straight that answering a question honestly was in no way us bashing Xbox for anything. All we did was point out the current issue that we are having or have come across, and that we will have to spend more time to fix it. A different platform may require different solutions. Nothing wrong with that. We will not release the Xbox version until it is ready and want Xbox fans to be able to enjoy the game experience and quality as much as PS5 fans. So that was their statement after they saw the backlash of how many fans are saying that, something is wrong, you guys are doing something wrong, this game have no reason to be held back on the Xbox. This is the statement they brought forward. Now, wouldn't it be a shame if a regular Joe on Twitter recommends what the team there at Team Kill Media could do to get this game running at the best quality ever? Wouldn't that be a shame? Well, that is exactly what happened. Take a look at this. Ramblin' Entertain tweeted this. Doesn't direct storage on the Xbox solve that issue? What is direct storage? Let's take a look.
Technology, direct storage, while Sony doesn't appear to have a name for its solution. But both companies are ultimately trying to reduce the amount of time it takes for data to go from the SSD to the GPU. You see, all the data your GPU needs to process is contained in your video memory or VRAM, which is fed by game data stored on the SSD. The GPU has to ask the SSD for this data by making what's called an input-output or I/O request whenever it needs a chunk of information. And although modern SSDs are super fast, especially for using PCI Express, there's a lot of overhead that comes with all these I/O requests from the GPU. This is because while SSDs can handle lots of raw data, the APIs they use to move data around are still fairly old school and can't handle enough I/O requests at once to take advantage of all that sweet bandwidth. Direct storage addresses this issue in a couple of ways. One, it cuts out the CPU to a large extent. Conventionally, the CPU has acted as a middleman between storage and the video memory. So the idea is that by linking the storage more directly to the VRAM and allowing the GPU to handle the decompressing of visual data rather than the CPU, you won't have as much overhead. Two, it more efficiently parallelizes I/O requests, so the system can handle more of them at once. This should give you the benefit of not only having your games load more quickly, but also help eliminate immersion-breaking side effects like how distant visual elements kind of suddenly pop into view if they can't be pulled.
So there you have it. Regular Joe had to teach Team Kill Media what they can do to rectify the problem they were having. Now, did Team Kill Media deny that this would solve the issue that they are having on the Xbox? Let's take a look at what they said. We are working on it, and yeah, it might solve everything, but we got to test everything and figure it all out. So they admit that this, what was recommended by that regular Joe, would have solved the problem that they are having. Isn't that a shame? What potatoes of developers these guys are to be taught by someone on Twitter. Well, this is the findings we have about Quantum Error. What do you think? Are you going to go out and buy their game now? Are they, how to say, inept when it comes to developing? Or are they one of the best developers you guys have ever seen? Let me know in the comment sections below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. Later.